What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, as always, we're joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, welcome to another amazing week. So, if you're hearing this one in close to real time, we're still in Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so that's the month of October. So, during that month, I am discounting the book 40%, so you can get The Other Side of the Firewall. This name right after the podcast. You can go to theothersideofthefirewall.com to pick up your copy. It's like the price of 2 Happy Meals, all right? But it make you very happy to hear these 26 stories of cyber professionals who broke into the career field. So, with that being said, this week we have 3 topics, all dealing with some sort of malware or phishing activity. So please stay tuned for all 3. So we do 2 topics and a discussion. As well as this upcoming week, you'll see me on Forensic Technologies Cybersecurity and AI panel. So definitely tune in for that one. It's on Tuesday. That should be the 28th if you listen to this at 11 CT. So the description will be in the or that link will be in the description, I should say. Definitely continue to tune into us on 99.1 FM. That's WDJY 99.1 FM. We're Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, as well as simulcast on the TuneIn app. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from thehackernews.com by Ravi Lakshmanan, and the title of it is 3,000 YouTube videos exposed as malware traps and massive ghost network operation, right? So when we talk about malware, we talk about malicious networks and things like that. So they targeted YouTube, right? And if I'm being honest, this is kind of the way to go, right? So they didn't set up a different network or anything like that. They used infrastructure that was already in place. They already used a platform that was in place to go out there and make it and make this happen, right? So the cyber criminals now, what they're starting to do is they're getting a little smarter in that we're not going to reinvent the wheel and send something out to people and kind of like I guess you could say cold call. You know what I mean? Like they know YouTube is one of the biggest social media networks out there, right? Like despite what you may think you do with it or whatever, it is social media, right? YouTube is that, but what we have here is they have more than 3,000 malicious videos to date that they're using. They call this it's been codenamed the YouTube Ghost Network by Checkpoint. And Google, which owns YouTube, has stepped in to remove a lot of these videos, right? So what people are doing is they're getting these videos out here. When it comes to YouTube, right, you got to be careful because, like, I know I use YouTube for a lot of stuff, right? Like, if there's something I want to do around the house that I'm like, I've never done that before, right? Let me just go to a YouTube video. And granted, this probably is not that, right? Like, they're not going to, these dads that are trying to fix stuff around their house, right? Like under their sink, trying to fix something they never fixed
Right,
before or whatever.
or a hinge on
Yeah,
their fence.
it's not for anything like that, but like they're hijacking legitimate channels out there, right? And so what you have to be careful about is that your children that may be out there on YouTube, right? They could be out there looking like for tutorial style videos and things like that, right? For things that they're doing with games, you know what I mean? Like your Roblox, I don't know if Minecraft is still big like that. I don't know. My kids have kind of grown out of that, so I don't know if it's still a big deal or not. But different things like that, right? So this is a broader trend. With cyber criminals using already pre-established legitimate platforms, right? And it's not just YouTube. YouTube is just the one that, because it's so large, this has a lot of reach to it, right? With the billions and billions of videos that are watching YouTube. But yeah, they're getting smart about what they're doing here, right? And so what they're doing is they have 3 specific types of accounts, right? So they have video accounts which upload phishing videos, right? And they have the descriptions. And what they're doing is they're putting links in the descriptions for the videos. That is where your malware is. If you click on that link, you go to something, you get redirected somewhere where you're not supposed to be, right? Where you're getting phished, right? And then they have post accounts, right, which are responsible for publishing community messages and posts containing links to external sites. So it's kind of self-serving in that you see these videos, right? And like when you see a lot of likes, when you see a lot of comments, you're like, okay, well, this is something worth watching, right? Is what you're thinking. And that's what they know. And so they're doing all of it from cradle to grave to where they have these other accounts that are making them seem credible, right? By putting all these comments in there and things like that. And then they have these interact accounts, which is the third one, right? And they like and post encouraging comments to give the video that trust that I'm talking about, to where it's like when you look at reviews for like restaurants and stuff like that. If I only see 5 reviews, I'm like, I don't know if I trust this with a high rating. with only 5 reviews. But if I see
Right.
2,000, right, I'm like, oh, okay, 2,000. It's got a 4.8. Okay, it's got to be something.
Yeah. You see how you gave us some more slack once it hits a certain threshold. You're like, 4.8. That's the new five.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% true though, right? Like
Right.
that's really how it is. But and that's kind of how it is with these videos, right? So even though they are doing all of the accounts and they're making it look as legitimate as they do, it's malware out there, right? And there's different malware families distributed via the YouTube Ghost Network is what they call it, right? They got Luma Stealer, Radamanthus Stealer, Steel Sea Stealer, Redline Stealer, Syndrome Stealer. Like it's just they're out there doing it, people. So just be careful. Just because you're going to, and again, this article is YouTube, right? But it could be something else. It could be LinkedIn or some other social media platform, right? Your exes, things of that nature. Just be careful what you're going out there and doing because these cyber criminals are getting smart and they're not cold calling you. They're not sending you phishing emails or anything like that. That takes more effort. They're out there getting it in on established networks that they know people look at. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And the depth of the theme of the week is trust, right? Because they're really leveraging on people's trust of platform, trust of entity or what have you. So what kind of blows my mind though is the use of abandoned accounts, right? So you have abandoned accounts that have almost 10,000, have over 120,000 subscribers. Man, listen, I'm still trying to get 1,000. You got people out here abandoning accounts 120K subscribers. Pretty crazy to me. But again, that goes into trust. Like you see an account go offline for years, and then all of a sudden, because you still subscribe, right? Like so, I am also guilty of that. I have some channels I subscribe to that have not posted in years, because of they were popular during the pandemic. So those are the ones that are ripe for the picking for somebody to come in and say, well, this account is abandoned. They do their thing on the other side where they compromise the account through whether it be email or whatever other channels. And then now I'm getting new videos, but they have nothing to do with the original content, which I've not seen yet, because that would definitely get me to unsubscribe. Like, well, you're posting about Japanese tutorials, and now you're talking about crypto, right? I would probably jump off of that pretty quickly. But not everybody else thinks that way, right? And they might be like, oh, okay, my favorite YouTuber is not posting again. I should check this out. I'd say the second thing that kind of baffles me, and it's because I'm just not using YouTube appropriately, is I don't click on links just in general, but I definitely don't click on links on YouTube. Like, because I watch it on my television, so I don't even have the opportunity to do such, right? Like you, I'm searching like how do I, my grass is dying. How do I fix that? Like, oh, this hinge in the backyard is busted. How do I fix that or repair that? So I'm on these dad YouTube channels, and if the video were to jump to crypto bro stuff or Roblox stuff, I would immediately skip or go to the next thing. I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. But then it puts me into the mind of like my youngest, if he were to get pushed to a Crypto Bro video, he would not watch that either. But if it was Roblox or some kind of tips or cheats video or whatever, he probably would watch that. He'd consume that. And there's a chance that can get him to click the link by doing so. So that does put me on notice. So now I'm gonna have to. What I'm probably gonna do is take this article and run it through GPT and say, explain this to me like I'm a 10-year old. So that way it breaks it down to a level and maybe gives me some insight that I can say to him to really pique his interest, right? So I'm not just tinfoil hat dad talking about people stealing his accounts through YouTube. It might actually give me some good verbiage in there. So I'll suggest doing something similar. But yeah, it's crazy.
Seeing this article, it made me think of my youngest son, right? Because he's a preteen, and I'm like, man, he's on YouTube more and more, with the stuff that he's watching, right? And stuff like I know he's on there getting video game cheats and stuff like that. I'm like, I gotta hit him up and be like, hey man, just so you're aware, like even though I got parental controls on stuff that he watches and things of that nature, right? But he's getting to that age, like I said this a year and some odd change ago. Like I took him with me to see a Deadpool and Wolverine because I was like, I'm gonna give him a little bit more leeway, right? And I was like, okay, that immediately backfired on me, right? I got a call from the principal for something else, but like he got caught up with cussing and whatnot. And I was like, man, what I tell you, man? Like I can't keep doing this for you, right? Your mom is gonna be like, all right, no more of this. But I'll
Right,
make her out
right.
to be the bad guy when I can, But so I gotta stay on top of it because I know he's on YouTube a lot more than what he used
Oh
to.
yeah, yeah. And again, it's the way people use it, right? Like just because we don't use it in that fashion doesn't mean that it's not the target audience. So I always have to think of that. 'Cause I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, and then I'm like, oh well, yeah, I do have because the real littles, my nieces, they're on YouTube Kids, so it's way more restricted. But he's he's double digits now, so I give him a little bit of leeway. Like, okay, you could dabble in the real YouTube, and I have to think like, okay, now I have to tell him to be wary. Yeah, good stuff. Good article. So with that being said, I give it to you for topic two.
All right. The next one is cybersecuritynews.com by Tusha Subradutta. And the title of this one is Google warns of threat actors using fake job postings to deliver malware and steal credentials, right? So this is one of those things, right? So social engineering, right? We talk about how social engineering is such a big tool when it comes to criminals within exploiting trust in people, right? And so what this is for like job hunting, right? So like people that are out there job hunting, especially in this day and age, right? With what's going on with the government shutdown. I mean, there are people out there that are not working, not being paid, that may be looking for different jobs or looking for additional jobs, because I've seen, not to get too far off topic, I've seen articles about the air traffic controllers, right, that are doing like Uber and Lyft or DoorDash or whatever, right, to supplement because they're essential workers that are still out there working, but they're trying to get a different job. But what this one is about, right? So it's a threat cluster operating out of Vietnam, right? That's been targeting digital advertising and marketing professionals through fake job postings, right? So, and again, they're using legitimate, just like we talked about with the last one, they're using legitimate platforms out there, right? They're not reinventing the wheel, cold calling, sending out emails like, hey, come see us, right? Like they're on those different websites that are already out there, right? Like probably your LinkedIn's, your Monsters, your Indeeds, right? They're building like recruitment websites to get on these already pre-established job hunting sites and make sure that they can leverage as they need to, right? So what are they using? They're using remote access Trojans, credential harvesting phishing kits, and this is a growing threat, right? Like this isn't the only story we've done on this, but it's becoming more prevalent, right? Like you got people that are being targeted that are doing like the remote work. Like I said, people looking for second jobs, and again, with the government shutdown, there's I want to say millions of people, right? Whether they be active duty military that might be trying to supplement what they're doing, right? Even though they're still working, or like defense contractors, you know what I mean, that are out there out of work that may need something like now, right? Your civil service pool of people, that's another one that's not being paid, right? While the government is shut down, they're taking these people's like when you submit to these sites, right? They're taking your resume, your contact information for these positions, and what they're doing is they're establishing a foundation of trust, right? So like you're giving all this information, and remember this, like so when you submit your resume, right? Like you got some pertinent information that can be used later on. It may not be something that they're going to hit you with it right now when they get it, right? It could be one of those things where it's like, okay, I got your email. I can hit you up 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving, but in a bad way, right? Is what could be going on here, right? But this is like one single job application can result in repeatedly being targeted over extended periods of time, right? So, and we've talked about that before on the show as well, right? Like how one breach can be used, it could be sold on the internet, on the dark web to other places that are using it nefariously, right? So it may not just be this Vietnam based, was it Vietnam? Yeah, Vietnam based cyber gang or whatever it is, right? But yeah, folks, be careful out there, right? Like I realize times are tough, times are hard. I get it, but be careful what you are submitting to, like, and especially if it seems too good to be true, it very well may be, right? Like Ryan can speak to this recently, right? Like not necessarily job
Yeah.
hunting, but people just giving you, a little bit of attention on something where you're like, oh, that's awesome, right? I'm advertising something, I see something come back, but like you just got to be careful what you're looking at, and again, when they hit you with that, you know, hey, it's just going to cost you a little bit of money or something like that. Like maybe everything your antenna should go up a little bit, right? But what's your thoughts on
No, I think, and that's a great segue to what I currently have going on. With this though, with this specific article, yeah, because people are really out there, and it's been like this for the past couple of years, job searching. But like you said, the screws are being turned a little bit tighter because of the shutdown, right? I see people who are, like you said, air traffic control, or they may be in cybersecurity, or they may be doing something, just whatever is within the government sector. And now they're at Uber, Lyft, baristas, right? They're getting gig jobs and things of that nature. My whole thing is just be weary of how you apply. right? Because you're going to be given, I get emails all the time from old dice ads and things of that nature, right? So when I was first trying to get into the market, I put my stuff on Monster and Dice and LinkedIn, and now I still sometimes it's still echoing, like reverberating out there in the interwebs, right? Where I'll get a tip or someone will be like, "Hey, I'm recruiting for such and such," and I can both tell it's old information, right? Because I've updated my resume several times over since then, but also B, that it's probably not coming from a credible source just because of broken English as well as just weird links and things of that nature. Plus, we're not searching, so I have the privilege of not being in a situation where it's piquing my interest, so I can scrutinize those emails. So just be very wary of how you apply. I never go through, like, even like I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, but I never go through and and add through LinkedIn when I was applying. I would always go to the source. So LinkedIn would be like my Wikipedia. It would show me like, oh, Netflix is hiring. Then I would go to Netflix career site and I'd apply there, as opposed like out of paranoia that this person may be nefarious or not really the recruiter. But B, I always was afraid that they were harvesting resumes and it wasn't going to the source, right? So I was kind of like, I didn't want to spin my wheels. I'd rather give it to the source and then either email or connect with the recruiter via LinkedIn. So like, hey, I applied, but I applied through, not to pick on Netflix, but like Netflix's official site as opposed to through this advertisement. So I'm interested, but I just never felt comfortable going through a third party to submit a resume. I always want to go to the source. But to what you were saying, Shannon, yeah. So I'm writing a series, right? This is the first time I've seen this type of scam, and it really piqued my interest. A, because I he almost got me, or she, or whomever. But B, I like things that are more personal because then you can write a really good article out of it, right? A really good series. So it's called a book promotion scam. Never heard of it before, right? Obviously, because I'd never read the book. Well, what like the gist of the scam is kind of like playing on the Nigerian scam back in the day, where they establish that trust and like I can help you in some sort of way. So this one came from an email from a lady who lives in the area who has a book club with about 1,500 or so ladies, and then they go and they check out, diverse books and sci-fi books and things of that nature. And so I did my due diligence, right? Because the email looked legitimate and everything like that. I replied back to it. I'm like, hey, I'm interested in your group. And I went to the webpage. I looked at their group. I looked at the lady. She had the LinkedIn account as well as she was in this group, but the group was paywalled, right? Like, so you have these meet me groups. They're real legitimate things, but to get to them, you had to subscribe to the meet me whatever verse, and then you have the ability to get into these groups and search out these people. So it's supposed to paywall to make sure you're a real person before you get to the group. But what this person is doing the reverse because they're paywalled. Everything looks legitimate, but they're not that person. This person went by the handle of Sonia. Sonia's a real person, but the person talking to me is not Sonia. So now I'm writing about it. I'm putting, and what I think is cool is I'm trying to do the catfish thing. Like their production value way higher than mine, but I'm putting up the emails. I'm, redacting information that could be personal, what have you, and I'm trying to break down how they almost got me to pull the trigger for a low amount, right? Like a very modest amount of money is they're stealing. Like I feel as though they're putting in way more effort than they're getting paid. But everybody does their own thing, right?
But
Everybody,
it'll be progressive though, right? Like if you would have
yeah,
fallen for it, it'd have been a small amount at first, and then it'd be like, hey, we got some traction on this. Now we need four
right,
figures, right? Five figures. Like they're gonna keep pushing until they get you to what it needs to be, more than likely. It was interesting. When I read it, when you sent it, I was like,
yeah.
ooh, that looks so slick and legitimate, man. I was like, dang. But yeah,
Yeah,
you you
it's really good. It's really good. Like, but so what? Obviously he picked the wrong person, right? Cybersecurity person. He picked the right person because I am an indie pub, and indie publishers are a little bit more hungry, a little bit scrappier, right? So like I'm trying to find any venue possible to advertise the book. I was like, this book club's gonna be dope. And then uh B, it's the exchange, right? Because and part of this to get the money, they have to turn you over to someone to collect said money. And his profile, like to give the benefit of the doubt, right? So his profile, he is a Nigerian guy in Nigeria doing the work. But what we have found out in previous episodes, sometimes even Americans or people from other parts of the world use Nigerian covers because of the whole Nigerian scam aspect of it. But it just you could have did better, man. So that was the you never get three red flags out of me. You get two. So that was the second red flag. I was like, oh wait a minute. And then when I was like, what is going on? And then when I started to Google it, I found book promotion scam. I was like, I've never heard of this before. And I am the perfect mark. So please continue to tune in for that one. I wasn't sure how to space it out because I didn't know if I want to do 5 days in a row or I want to do one a week or what have you. So I did one last week. I pushed out as the newsletter. I got another one coming up. And I'm just trying to give as much detail as possible because I think both is very clever, but also just it could be adapted in different ways. So I just want to, make people aware of this thing that I wouldn't say he almost got me, but he did pique my interest. This is the furthest I've ever gotten in a phishing scam ever. Like he got me up to payment. Like we had several emails back. You saw my emails back and forth? Like several emails back. We were exchanging emails. Like this person but it's definitely fake. Because since I stopped contact, I've got no less than 6, 7 follow-up emails. No one is that desperate for $100. So it's pretty funny. But more to come on that. But thank you for the segue. I appreciate that Shannon.
It was interesting, man, and it ties in, right? Like to what we're talking about. Like he reached out to you on an established platform. It was LinkedIn, right? It was LinkedIn that they reached out, or how did
No, so it was actually a code call. It
it
was an
was? Okay.
email. Yeah, it was still a code call, but it was well put together.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't know why I was thinking, or you're putting the series out on LinkedIn. You're putting
Yeah, well,
the thing out on LinkedIn. That's
I
what it is.
found the real Sonia on LinkedIn, but she's
That's
not
what, okay.
active. So again,
Yeah.
it's like those YouTube accounts, right? When people become less active, that's the best time to steal their identity. I'm very active, so I think it'll be a little bit harder for somebody to do that to me. But I'm not challenging anybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the lifeline guy. I put my social on somebody's billboard. But I think because she's so inactive, because even I'm having issues trying to get a hold of her. Because I think that would be like real catfish, right? If I find the real person, but I can't. It's hard. Like she has not responded yet, so I'm just like, are you real? But she looks legitimate. It just looks like she's just not active.
It's gonna be a great read. I read that first part and I was just like, ooh, you're definitely a good storyteller, man. Your book, and then
I appreciate that.
it's like you're definitely pretty good. I'm like, ooh, okay.
I appreciate it. You hear that, Netflix? Try and give me a deal over here. But with that being said, Shane, I give it to you for the discussion.
All right, everybody. So this one is from darkreading.com, written by Nate Nelson. And the title of this one is Shutdown Sparks 85% increase in U.S. government cyber attacks, right? So 85%, right? And they're talking about just the month of October, since 1 October, right? We're not even all the way through October yet, but they're saying that it's increased 85%, right? And it only makes sense, right? Like with the government shutdown, you have so many cybersecurity professionals that are not working, right? Whether they be civil service or contractors, they're just out of pocket right now, right? So like these agencies are on pause, employees furloughed. With like they're saying they're estimating by the time October ends, right, which is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, right, 5 million government cyber attacks, right? That's just on the government are going to have transpired by the time the end of the month comes up, right? So cyber attacks against the U.S. agencies anyway were already going up before October 1st, right? Because there was just anticipation. Like it was in the news that, hey, we're possibly going to have a government shutdown. And I know this happens very often. And sometimes at the last minute, they'll figure it out, right? They do what they need to do. But because they were coming up on it, like these cyber criminals were already gearing up, right? They were like, hey, we're going to make this happen, right? And so what's sad about this? Not necessarily, yes, it's sad that people are out of jobs, right? But like the trust in the government is being further and further eroded when it comes to people having jobs and working for them, right? Like the government already has a hard enough time pulling from the pool of people to get them to work for them because they're not, I don't want to say they're not competitively paid, but in the private sector, you do make out better financially than what you do for the government, right? The government provides the service, they're not in it for the profit.
I would take it even a step further. I would say it's not that just that they're not competitively paid, but they always had the safety net saying, well, we don't pay you as much, but you're not going to necessarily be laid off or lose your job. But the past decade, that's gone, right? So you're not competitively paying me, and I don't get a safety net.
Yeah, job
But
security is
I
an issue.
digress.
No, no, yeah, that's a good point, right? Like that's actually a good point to bring up, right? Like, and again, there are people out there, right, that are looking for jobs, and we talked about it before about people that are essential personnel that are still working and not getting paid. But um, even with them, I mean, they have to be on the lookout too, right? Because they're still getting targeted. It's not just because you are an essential person and you're there, you're not getting targeted. But this is like 555 million attacks against the government in 1 month. That's crazy high, right? But yeah, these people they bring up a part in the article where they talk about this guy. He says that when this happened last time, they got a letter from, I think it was Department of Homeland Security. I think is who it was. They were like, "Hey, send this to your mortgage company to be like, hey, I work for the Department of Homeland Security, and I'm without money right now, blah blah blah." And I think they said that they kind of laughed at them and said, "Yeah, we appreciate your service, but we're gonna need that money on the 15th or the first or whatever it is." You know what I mean? Because these other companies that are out there, they're like, "Yeah, it's sad. We appreciate you, but we're gonna make something happen, right?" Like, because I know some of these banking institutions are out here working with people, right? Like you got your USAAs and stuff like that that are like, hey, we'll work with the government, knowing that you're a government employee, knowing that you're going to get a check when all is said and done, because they're going to get back paid for the work that they're doing.
Yeah,
We'll,
they'll
we'll
say, "Hey,
work with
we'll
you.
give you a interest free loan,"
Yeah,
and because we know we're going to get the money back. So not only does that give, like, I'm not trying to knock banks, but like they getting you that excellent customer service because in the future they've established even more trust. Like, oh, man, this bank hooked me up when I didn't have any money, so I'm not gonna leave them, right, and things of that nature. So they're not just doing it out of the kindness of their heart, but like they're talking about not back paying these people, which is ridiculous. There's a
really.
whole bill. Well, yeah. So I speculation. Everyone will still get back paid, but there's a threat out there saying that, oh, you're not going to get back paid because it's the posture is to say, oh, well, they need to hurry up and pass a continuous resolution because you might not get that money, like because people are so used to being back paid, right, in this process. So now they're trying to stir the pot on both sides in order to get people riled up. So that way, they ultimately the lawmakers get what they.
Wow. Okay. I had not heard that, man. That's interesting. If they do that, they're gonna have some problems on their hands, right? Like
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's
that
gonna
safety
be,
net is completely eroded, man. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get people to come back. It's gonna be hard to get people to stay in, right, into these different organizations. Like they're really disrupting day-to-day operations. It's crazy.
that is crazy. But before I turn it over to you, one other thing I want to hit real quick, right? And so they were talking about the most targeted agencies on here, right? And I was like, I understand the list and what they're doing here. Number one was the VA, right? Department of Veterans Affairs. I could see that, right? With as many people are being serviced by them, and what they can get out of the people that work for that organization, I could see that being number one, right? Second place was Department of Justice, right? So I was like, gosh, they're hitting hard right now, and you're striking while the iron is hot, so to speak, right? Like usually when people say that, it's for a good thing, but like for the cyber criminals, they're like, hey, now is the time. Like you got all these people that are not at work doing certain things, right? That are not at work protecting, possibly, right? Because like the government is supplemented with, contractors and civil service, right, to do certain things at the active duty military, whether it be that they just don't have enough people for it, right? Like they do the supplementation. Those people not being there, like it's time to hit. But um, yeah, this is crazy that this is where we're at. That 555 million number, that struck me kind of hard, man. I was like 555 million, and that's an estimate, right? It could go higher as time goes on. Like if it gets out in the news that maybe they're thinking about coming to an agreement sooner than later, right? They might be like, okay, well now we really got to get on it and start doubling up on what we're doing. It might get over 600 million or something like that. But yeah, that was a high number when I read that. And I was just like, geez Louise. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And oh man, it's like fishing Christmas with a PH, right? Like they're just like it's bananas right now. But before I do that, so I definitely continue to check us out every week. So again, we publish once a week now. It's an hour-long episode. You can hear it on the radio. So if you're in the Atlanta metro area, WDJY 99.1 FM. But we're also simulcast on TuneIn, so anyone can listen to it 5 p.m. on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. And then I try to publish the episode Monday or Tuesday. So this one will probably go up. I got to get this one by Monday because on Tuesday I have the panel with Forensic Technology. So we're talking about cybersecurity and AI. Definitely check that one out. The link will be in the description to register. And then also that evening is CyberX Tampa. So that was my very first conference post-military, and I was on a panel for them. So this year I'm not doing a panel or anything like that, but I am, attending and hoping to meet a bunch of people that I see virtually all the time, right? So if you're in the Tampa area and you're going to Cyberattacks, definitely hit me up. I think it's Tuesday at 5 p.m. because it's after work, right? I took PTO that day. I got too much going on. So I plan on attending. So definitely check that out. And of course, I'm still selling the book at a discount, 40% off, $15 US cash. Definitely pick that up. I just really want to celebrate this month. It's been a crazy month, and I want people to be able to pick it up and hear the stories of those 26 professionals who represent people of color, women, veterans, career switchers, neurodivergent professionals who have all broken into cybersecurity. So definitely check that one out. You can go to theothersideofthefirewall.com to pick it up for me, 40% off. But with all that out of the way, uh, yeah, I thought this article, like the number jumped out at me at the 555 million. Um, Basically, they're going to hit the jackpot. Like if you bought 555 million tickets, I think statistically you have a really good chance to win the lottery, right? So someone with a government laptop is going to click on one of these malicious links and give up the keys to the kingdom, right? We're going to have another OPM breach, or we're going to have some credentials stolen, or we're going to have an APT, advanced persistent attack, uh, in the future because of all this. Like we talked about this when before you had your vacation, where like this is they're going to practice for this. They're doing drills for this. They can't wait for this to happen, for the shutdown, especially a prolonged one, right? They've been practicing for this in order to send out these emails because people are going to be checking their email to see, like, are we back on? Has the contract been funded? What's going on with my benefits? Are they going to pay us? Like, people are glued to their screens right now who are impacted by this, and they're very susceptible to clicking that link. It's just really a shame. So I would say don't click any links, only go to official sources. But you're talking to somebody who has been laid off for weeks and potentially more weeks if this continues until the holiday, because Congress takes very long vacations. It's a very sweet position to be in. They're very privileged. I don't feel like it's partisan in any way to say that the people who are not paying these people are paying themselves and giving themselves a vacation probably coming up. That's crazy. So, I tell people to vote with the wallet. Hey, people, your wallets are empty, so vote. These people are ridiculous. But I digress. Because I don't like getting into politics, but I think that's for everyone out there. It's a pretty bipartisan situation happening right now. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think it's pretty on the attacker side. It's very smart. Obviously, it's disgusting to prey on people's emotions, but that's what phishing scams are for, right? Networking, social media, like they're to prey on your emotions to get you to lower the defenses and somehow get something out of you. In this case, they're stealing credentials, they're stealing information. It only takes one contractor with a laptop full of data to get popped, and it was all worth it. It was all worth the scheming and the pushing out the emails, like working overtime to get all this information out here to trip somebody up. And it can be done to even the best of them. Like I said, like I keep like saying I'm involved in this phishing scam. I didn't give them they didn't receive anything from me. And I didn't pay them anything, but it makes it sound more enticing when you say I'm currently involved in this phishing scam, right? But yeah, like it even tempted me because I was like, man, this is great. You want to feature my book in your club? I'll give you $100. And I was like, wait a minute, you're not a real person. So it's
And
easy.
that was from a position of like you doing something that like you did this for the benefit of others to where it's like, hey, I want other people to experience, what people of color and women have gone through, in the industry. Like this is targeting people that are like they are probably going through some stuff financially right now, right? So like as soon as they see something that may be like, hey, you're gonna be back to work, you're gonna be making money, you're gonna get your back pay, like they're jumping on it so much more. You were not in that position with what you were, so maybe that's why your experience, and because of that, you were able to hold off a beat. But there's people out there right now, like I was talking to my wife. She works with somebody that works at like the she deals with somebody that works at the Salvation Army, and like some of their pantries and stuff like that, man, way more empty, right? And I'm in a military community, right? Like there's a lot of military bases. DoD is heavy. over here where I am. But again, like even though they got paid last time, like it's one of those things where like, well, where's the next paycheck coming from? Right? They're not sure if that's going to show up in like 4 days or whatever it is, right? So yeah, man, it's rough out there, and these people they're probably jumping at the opportunity as soon as they see something. They're not going through all the training they go through every year to tell them to look out for stuff. The cyber awareness
Right,
challenge. You
right,
got to
exactly.
deal with that's too. It's too raw right now with them going without. So yeah, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, and it makes like there's millions of targets of opportunity. They're flooding the market because I've never heard of 555 million and growing, right? Cyber attacks. So depending on how long this lasts, like that can easily reach um, billions with a B of attempts, and then at that point, like yeah, you are. It would be diminishing returns if you were playing the lotto because you would have paid more to buy tickets as opposed to winning the lottery. But in this case, it's like the cost of entry is so low with phishing as a service and ransomware as a service. Like it's basically these people are paying for the most part, the ones that are not the nation states are just paying subscriptions in order to access these things to push out these emails and things of that nature. It's becoming easier and easier to be a cyber criminal, and as we have talked about in the past, it does pay. So it's crazy times out there. So I'll just urge everyone: don't trust anything that you read. Right? You have to be a level of scrutiny for everything you see, and do not click any links. Go to the source always. Not just now, always. Godspeed. Hopefully everybody gets back to work and the paychecks start rolling very soon. But with that, Shannon, how was your time off?
Man, it was good. I won't complain. So last week didn't make it onto the show because we took a little mini vacation. It was already planned. So I am one of the people that's affected by the shutdown. Like our government contract is not funded right now. So it had already been planned, and I wasn't going to take it away from the children. And I couldn't get my money back for the tickets anyway. It's rain, sleet, hail, snow type thing. But we went and did this Magic of the Jack-o'-lanterns is what it's called, right? And so it's this place. I want to say it's like 30 acres or something like that, where they have like these different things on there. They have food trucks on there, and then like all these jack-o'-lanterns and things of that nature that you can see that are like amazing in scale and scope and what they show, man. And my children enjoyed it. It was a day where, took them out to play some video games at this place called Boondocks is the name of it. It's kind of like a main event or Dave and Buster's type
Right.
thing. So we had to waste time because we got a hotel. Like it's a couple hours away from where we are. So we had to get a hotel, and the hotel wasn't ready yet. So we went and got some lunch, went and did Boondocks, which my oldest son had not been with us when we did it over the summer because he works, right? So when we had time over the summer, the children, they're not in school. I would take time off, but um, it was a fun time, man. Children enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The wife enjoyed it. It was a really good time. I will probably do it again next year just to be like, okay, let me see what may be different from the year prior, right? Like what they may have done. Yeah, Magic of the Jack-o'-lanterns. It was pretty good. What else did we do? Oh, so my oldest son, man, like, so I had showed some interest, right? So I saw Ghost of Yotai, the video game, had popped up on Sony, right? And I watched the trailer and I was like, that looks really good. And then I remembered, I was like, well, wait a minute, Ghost.
Yeah, Yote.
And I was like, man, I felt like Della Reese in Harlem Nights. I was like, I love that little boy. So that's what I felt like, right? Quick shot her. And she was like, he
Right.
apologized to her. That's what I felt like. I was like, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So Ghost of Tsushima, I think I got like 40 hours on that thing, right? Like I got a little
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
time. I think I got like 40 hours on it. Now
Okay.
it's
Okay.
starting to get a
Yeah.
little repetitive,
Right.
right? Like as you
Yeah.
start going on, but I'm like, I'm gonna see new things. I'm armoring up. I'm getting new weapons, things of that nature. But yeah, man, it's a good game, and I'm hoping that I don't get through this one because I like to 100. I like to get as close to 100% as I can, right? So I'm going doing all the side missions, the mythic tales, things of that nature. I'm not just doing the main journey. So I'm doing a lot of stuff in it to where I'm like I'm hoping I don't get to Yote, and then it's like
It'd be like
okay, it's
burnt
a
out.
lot of
Yeah.
the same. You know what I mean? But no, good game. I
There's
don't know when
DLC
I'm
for
gonna
it too.
finish it. Yeah, it. So the one he got me was I don't know if it said director's cut or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
director's cut. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So that one I think has the DLC in it. Like when I downloaded it or when I first put it in, for this physical disc, when I first put it in, there was like an update file, and I thought I saw something that said DLC, but maybe not. Because I
Yeah.
let it run in the background.
Have you played around with any of the visual modes, like the Kurosawa mode?
No,
So if you go
Is that
to
the is that
like,
the black and white? Is that the black and
yeah,
white?
yeah,
I
where it
saw
makes it look like
that.
an old samurai flick. Yeah,
I
like
saw
I
that.
wouldn't play the whole game like that because it's a
Yeah.
beautiful game. So you want to see the colors and stuff like that. But yeah, they have Kurosawa mode, which they carried over to this one. But they also have I think it's pronounced Mikkei mode is what I'm playing in, where it's bloodier. So yeah,
How can it be bloodier? Like some of the stuff I'm seeing on this, I'm like, oh, the
so
assassinations and whatnot. I'm like, oh,
yeah, so I was playing originally and it's pretty bloody, but now when I'm close to walls and stuff like that, like she's like spraying blood on the wall when she slices somebody, or sometimes when they hit the ground after I kill them, it'll have a blood spurt. Like
it's like that in Tsushima. My wife was sitting here when I was playing it a little bit, and she was like, "Is that blood spurting out while I'm on the ground?" Like, because you hear the squirt, you hear the
yeah,
spurt, and then it's like coming up a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, hey, that's what happens when you take a katana to the gut. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Jen don't play that, right?
and I told her, I said, look, I said they're trying to be nice about it. Like, if somebody survives an attack, they don't call it kill or anything like that. They call it end suffering. I was like, so they're being nice about it, right? So end suffering. I'm like, they're, that's the polite way to go about, phrasing it. But yeah, end suffering. It made me laugh when I saw that. I was like, yeah, same result.
I hit a guy from across the map and it didn't kill him. I didn't realize it though. So like I'm picking people off. I'm getting kind of nice with the bow. And then I look and he's like crawling. I'm like, oh. I was like, well, I can't get close to him. So I was like, I wonder if I can hit him from here. So I was like,
I'm getting pretty good with that long bow too, man. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead. You got the half bow and then the long bow. So yeah, it's a really good game. If Yote is anything like that, like it'll be good. But again, like I'm hoping it's not same. And I kind of
more of the same. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of had the same thing with Horizon because like when it showed up on PSN or whatever it was called, it was free. And so I played it and I was like, this is good. And that was like 100 some odd hours I put into that. And then the second one, what was it? Zero Dawn and Western
Uh,
something or
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it was kind of the same, different, a little bit different. But I was like, yeah, I just played 100 and some odd hours of this one, so to go into it like a month later or whatever to the other one, I was like, okay. But I
Yeah.
still
I'd be interested to see how you feel about the transition because I played Tsushima and it didn't carry my interest. Maybe I was busy during the
really,
time or whatever, but I was just like, this is cool. I mean, very pretty. I was like, this is cool, but changing the stances, all that stuff, I wasn't really feeling it. Like this one, I already have 40 hours into Yote. I'm like, did I just not click with the other one, or is this one that much different? So I'd be interested to see when you transition from one to the other, how you feel about it. Because I'm loving it. Like Atsu is the main character of this one. I'm dicing people up.
it's really good. Like the changing stances and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you, like when I first started playing it, I played it on medium. Like I had to bring it down to easy. I was like, maybe I'm like you with like the shooting games or whatever. Like maybe I just don't have it anymore. Because like there was
Yeah.
points where I was getting my butt handed to me. Like I had lost so many times. The game suggested like, hey, maybe you want to take it down to
Yes,
easy.
I've been there. I've been there with this one, and I refuse.
I had to because I'm like, yo, I'm pretty sure I'm doing all of this right? But like, obviously not. I'm just getting it handed to me. But yeah, it was one I had to have lost maybe 10 times in a row or something like that. It was like maybe you want to change the difficulty down to easy. I was like, I do want to change the difficulty down to easy because I want to progress, right? So,
That makes me double down. I'm like, no.
I'm good for it, right? But yeah, that's good. I'm gonna keep playing that. The wife and I, children are at school, right? Like I'm not working right now, so it's like we're dating, right? But we're doing simple regular stuff, right? Like we're going to the grocery store, and then we're like, hey, you want to do lunch before we go to the grocery store? I love you. I love you.
Right.
So like it's crazy like that. Did a couple lunches with some of my coworkers, right? Like we went out 2 weeks ago, and then this past week just to go out, do lunch, just to be like, hey, how's everybody doing? Checking up on each other, you know what I mean?
It's good stuff.
So yeah, but um, wife and I watched a couple TV shows. Man, I tell you what, I started watching that I'm like, man, I really like it. I had it in my queue and I waited for it to finish. Was the Rainmaker TV show? I don't know if you've seen the movie with Matt Damon. Good movie, right? It's a what is that famous author's name? I think it's the same guy that did Lincoln Lawyer. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
But
know.
yeah, but The Rainmaker with Matt Damon, that was like 30 years ago or something like that. Now they got a TV series for it, 10 episodes. Really good watch. I watched like 5 episodes back to back when I first started it. I yeah, all the way through. But that's a good one to watch. So for everybody out there, if you like the Rainmaker TV or the Rainmaker movie. The TV series is pretty good. They changed a few things, right? There's some gender swapping with who Bruiser is and things of that nature, and like different people, their situations are a little different in how he came across them. But it's a good series. But that was pretty much it for me, man, for the last couple weeks. Enjoying life, getting some Tsushima in. Me and my wife acting like we're dating again. No kids around while they at school. We're like, oh, okay, this is great. But what about you, man? How's your week?
Pretty tame, to be honest with you. Like just trying to write up all of the stuff I'm experiencing with the book promotion scam. 'Cause I think it's just very interesting. It's a perspective I've never seen before. Apparently it's a thing though. Like I did find documentation which aided me in my sanity. 'Cause I was like, yo, this just feels weird. I was like, this is definitely not real, but I've never seen this type of scam before. And then when I dug a little bit deeper, I did find some documentation. I was like, oh, they're going by the playbook. It was like beat for beat how this person is going about doing their business. I'm like, oh man, this is a thing. But obviously, it affects a very small community, right? Well, I say that, but statistically, 11,000 books are released, or 11,000 books are published every single day. It's crazy, right? That's a lot. No one
You
can
said
consume that much
11,000 are published a day?
per day. Yeah.
Wow.
Worldwide, 11,000 books. So that it makes it really hard to be seen out there, right? Because how do you get above all of this sea of books being released? And the scam plays on that. Because as an indie publisher, yeah, you get drowned out pretty fast because so many books are dropping. So like this person plays on people's emotions pretty well. So I'm writing that up, right? So just trying to figure out how to make it, keep it factual, make it interesting, and then also how to release it. You hear me, Netflix? I'm not done yet. So if you want to tune in, please do so. And then aside from that, I took the boys to go see the Chainsaw Man anime movie. So have you seen the ads for it?
My oldest son went 2 days ago.
Okay.
He
It
he
it was
went 2 days
okay.
ago.
It was
Really?
okay. Like it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It was very much like the anime, the TV show that I do enjoy, but I could have waited. Like I don't know. Like it's my first time going to see an anime in theaters. Like it sounded bigger and more boombastic. But yeah, I could have watched it on the small screen too. But they seemed to enjoy it, and I thought it was okay. We went during a really good time, so the theater maybe had like 20 people in it, so we're pretty spaced out. So just sat there, enjoyed it, watched it, came back home. Uh,
So your youngest is in the anime like that too?
Not as much. He
Okay.
does. He's way more into Roblox and yeah, like playing his games and making games. But he does watch from time to time. And I got nervous because there is one scene, but it's edited pretty well. So I was like, oh man. I was like, close your eyes.
I'm not explaining this to your mom. That's what you said to yourself. I'm
Right.
explaining this to your mom. So my wife, she didn't even know what it was, right? Like, and I jabbed at her a little bit because he just told us, "Hey, I'm going to go see Chainsaw Man." I was like, "Oh, it's in theaters." Like I knew what it was being an anime, and so when I was talking to her later, she was like, "Man, when did we start like in horror movies like that?" She's thinking like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
type stuff. I was like, "No, it's an anime." I was like, "Why don't you know anything about your kids?" That's what I said to her. I was like, "Why don't you know anything about your kids?" Right?
Right. An anime where a man's arms and face turn into chainsaw blades.
Chainsaws, yeah.
Very ridiculous. But I enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. The anime. The movie was okay though. I started Weapons and I fell asleep. Not because it was boring, I was just really tired. So I started Weapons and I woke up and it was something crazy on the screen. I was like, cut this off immediately. So I have a feeling it's gonna be really good. But it was terrifying scene I woke up to. I was like, nope, nope for that. But I have to stop starting content late at night. I'm not gonna make it. I'm old now. I'm
But
not
your
gonna make it.
but your life is just busy, right? Like you got nieces in the house. Like it's just to the point where that's where you find the time, right? And it's like I get it. I understand it. You either have to wake up really, really early when nobody else is getting up,
Right,
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 to
exactly.
do it, and then it's like then you're tired. You're going to bed really early, possibly not getting everything done in the day. But no, I get that, man, because I'm there too, Ryan. Where like there's sometimes I'm like I really want to watch this and I like this, but like If I start watching it, and my bedtime is early because I'm up early, right? Like I'll go to the gym like early in the morning so I can be at home with the family at the end of the day. But there are times I'm like, I get to 9 o'clock and I'm like, man, my eyes are closed. You know what I mean? Like I can't make it happen. Like, my wife and I'll be
Yeah.
watching something and she'll touch me and be like, you ready to go to bed? I'm like, yes, I am. Let's go.
See, and I'm just it's a character flaw because I double down. No, I was asleep. It makes my wife mad. She was like, "You're obviously asleep." I was not asleep. I was
Have you?
blinking.
I was resting my eyelids. Have you seen this commercial? My wife and I we make fun of this because like she'll do it to me, and then I'll say like the guy is falling asleep on the couch. I can't remember what the commercial's for. And his girlfriend wakes him up, and she says a phrase, and he wakes up and he immediately just says the phrase back to her because he was sleeping. He's like, no, she's like, no, you need to go to bed or something like that. And like she'll do it to me, and I'll do the same thing to her. I'll just say back to her whatever she says. I gotta find it. I gotta find the commercial because
That's
it's the same
hilarious.
guy. He does multiple
Yeah,
commercials, and I'll send it to you. And I'm like, I do that to her every once in a while. But yeah, you're obviously sleeping. Just take it, man. Just be like, no,
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
stay
It's
on bed.
something wrong with my character.
It's your pride. You're like,
I
no, no, no.
doubled down. I'm like, I was not asleep. But obviously, I was asleep. What's wrong with me? Aside from that, I think I'm 40 hours like you. I'm 40 hours into Yote, and it's going to be different. So like graphically, it's going to be different. Also, the way they break the map down is going to be different for you. But I have a feeling that there's going to be some samey type things, right? Because it's a direct sequel. So hopefully you enjoy it. Man, I'm loving it. So I'm playing through that, and uh, Silent Hill 2 remake is on PSN. So it's the free game for the month because it's spooky season. So I want to jump into that, but I have to obviously finish this one first. But very excited for that one. I've never finished a Silent Hill game. I'm currently playing through F, so that's my palate cleanser. Like I'll play, a lot of Yote, and then I'll play a little bit of Silent Hill F. But at some point I want to get to this because in Silent Hill F you're playing as a Japanese schoolgirl, so you don't get guns and stuff, right? Like you might get some lead pipes or some like this taking out the context is going to sound terrible, but you like broken scissors, lead pipes, things of that nature, things that she can easily maneuver. But in remake, you're playing as I forget the guy's name, but you're playing as this guy who he could be like a Chris Redfield or a Leon Kennedy type. You know what I mean? So I know he's going to be able to throw hands. So I kind of want to get to that at some point because it'll be a different type of horror game, right? More like Resident Evil than what I'm currently playing. So that is next in line for me to play. Aside from that, man, just get ready for this panel. I'm super excited, and yeah, work to the holidays, right? Like I'm just trying to get as much onto, like I always say, I joke with my boss, well, I'm trying to get as much on your plate as possible because it's off mine. Then you'll get busy. So just trying to, knock out a bunch of work before the holidays roll around, and everybody gets super busy doing their thing, right? PTO and vacations, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, just and it's cooling down, so it's not blazing hot right now, so that's great. Get to sit outside, but now the pool's cold, and I'm not heating that thing up.
All right. So what is cold? So what is cold for Florida? You got to
We
let me
we
know.
we wake up, it's like 63.
Oh, see, oh my, I think that's gonna
That's
be my
cold.
high today. I think that's gonna be my high today. Like when I got up this morning and I looked at my thermostat, I think it said it's 37 outside. But like, hey, look, this is fall in Colorado, right? So it's like it's one of those things, man. Like the heat is on.
Right, right. I just want it to be like, yeah, we definitely still got the AC rolling, but I just wanted it to be cold enough where the grass stops growing. I just had to take the Halloween decorations off the lawn to mow the grass. I'm like, I could have sworn last year I was already done mowing. Like, what is going on? So I'm happy that the grass in the front anyway is healthy and it's green and growing. But I'm tired of it. I'm ready. And in the back, man, listen, I'm gonna have to during off season or whatever. I'm going to figure out because I don't want to sod it again. So I gotta get some seed or something and get it growing because it is super dead back there. Luckily, most of the backyard is pool now, but it's still wanted to be nice back there, and the rest of it is mixture of dirt and whatever's left of the I think it's called Bohemian grass. It was supposed to survive anything. It ain't surviving. I don't know what's going on back here. So, but it also hasn't rained as much because we haven't had hurricanes. So rainy season has not been as rainy. So it's a gift and a curse.
I was looking at the news this morning. There's one that's gonna turn into a 4 or 5. Melissa, what's the one
Yeah,
that's
but I think it's
something
going to stay in the Caribbean.
on the? Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
think it's
don't
coming up this way.
don't jinx it, man, because your season doesn't end until is it November 30th or something like that?
Yeah, it's the end of November. typically, like knock on wood, right? Typically, this is it because now the cold front will come down and that'll kind of quell it or whatever. But anything can happen, right? Like, our season patterns are all jacked up.
I
So
don't know, man. It's still warm down there. So that water's still warm. It could go ahead and keep picking up power, right, to make those things
right,
turn into fours and fives. Hopefully not. For real, I hope not too. When I was stationed down there, man, I was in the Panhandle though. Every year the news would be like, "It's gonna be the worst hurricane season yet," and it took like 5 years for us to get one that we had to evacuate for. So I was
right.
like, it was like the boy who cried wolf. I was like, yeah, I don't believe you. Like, and I happened to be on a cruise at the time. It was Ivan in 2004.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
been there since 99, I think is what it was. I got stationed there in 99. 2004, I haven't came to these, and we were on a cruise. So like we were on a cruise. We got redirected from, it was supposed to end in Aruba, but Ivan came through Aruba and tore it up. So we didn't take that. They redirected us. People were upset. They were like, that was the highlight, was going to Aruba. But when we got back home,
Yeah, I
like,
hate people act like that. Like legitimately, if you went there, people would not be able to give you anything because a hurricane just hit.
or your ship would have problems because the water is rough, right? Like from the
Yeah,
storm that's
so
coming in. But I'm
people.
like, yeah, get over it, folks. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have good luck with cruises, man. Because 2001, I was on a cruise for 9/11 when that hit, and then
Oh, wow.
2004, Evan came through, right? And so it's like maybe I should stop cruising. I don't know. But yeah, it was. We got back and it was evacuate, right? And so we went to Central Florida, believe
Gotcha.
it or not, right? Like so, even though it was coming up in the Panhandle, like we evacuated to Central Florida because like for whatever reason, I don't know, it kind of stays away from that area as much. You'll get the rain and stuff like that, but like the heavy wind effects, not so much. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where we live. We live in Central Florida, so that it helps out. Cause yeah, cause I've had to I had to fill the pool up, or not fill it up completely, but I had to put more water in it recently because it hasn't been raining. So again, a gift and a curse. So I'd rather do that than pick up debris, right? Run a generator because we ain't got no power. So it's all good. But yeah, man, just it's the end of the year, so excited to see what new opportunities arise in 2026. Knock on wood, opportunity 2026. 2025 has been wild. So we will see. But yeah, definitely continue to check us out. So again, we're on every week on Atlanta Metro's WDJY 99.1 FM, as well as simulcast on the TuneIn app. That's on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And then you can hear us on your podcast platform of choice before then. Typically, I publish on Mondays or Tuesdays. I'm trying to be more consistent, but it just depends on how busy the week is, what day I get to publish on. And yeah, just trying to push out this book scam project because it's piquing my interest and get the newsletter rolling again. So look for more content and check out the book the Other Side of the Firewall. You can pick it up at theothersideofthefirewall.com. It is on sale for 40% off for the entire month of October. Stay safe, stay secure.